the blacksmith. I'm gonna have to Zerg rush him. Dude, I don't think getting hit with arrows is a good idea. Is it me, or are these farms getting used up pretty quickly? The familiar sounds of my youth. Clink, 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 chop, chop, chop. There's actually something rather pleasant about it. When I first played this, I played the English. Like, this is the very first time I ever played this game, and I always remember listening to the dialogue from the characters. Like, listen to this. Okay, listen to this. Correctus. It's almost the language that they would be speaking in real life, but they alter it in some way. Like, the English is when you select from a bush to collect the berries, gather her. Chopper when you're going to cut down a tree. Equilin, batal. A lot of people know this game fairly well. As well they should. It's a classic that hasn't aged at all. It's a bit bare bones by a lot of people's standards today, I'm sure, but there's my money sink anyway. I'll buy some wood. There, that's more than enough wood. 600, 170 gold. Oh, of course I need gold, because I just spent a bunch of stuff on wood. So you guys get to do this, except for you two, who get to start building houses. Now, if I'm right, I have the mod selected that will give me up to 500 people. But of course, that'll also give them 500 people as well, so. And yes, I do know the console commands. Maybe if I'm like, no, screw this, I'm gonna beat this game even though I have to cheat, maybe then, I don't know, but that'll be kind of a declaration to myself that I'm not good enough. Which is a bullshit way of thinking, but it's technically not untrue. Ein. Impero. Alright, so I got my little defense force here. One thing I think they should have added down here, because for the most part this is all the same. I think attack move wasn't in the original. Might be wrong there. But one thing I think they really should change is something that what was the name of the I was just talking about it. Resignations has. And you start off with a scout, but immediately you can hit auto explore, and it'll just start running around the battlefield, looking for anything useful, as well as finding the enemy. Actually, I'm gonna send him back. Oh shit! That bastard, is a monk. And they can convert your characters. And I have not even the resistance up to be not converted. Because I have been too busy worrying about wood. At least we all have armor now. There we go. Before all that, heavy plow time. And this. Handcart. Very useful. Speed up production. Same with this. Alright. Okay, so we don't have any idle workers. Yeah, I think it would be a bit of a suicide if I were to leave the safety of my camp right now. One, two, three, four, five. That'll do. Of course, one thing I noticed with the fortress mode was in the fortress map, they're never 100% completely enclosed. There's always something natural blocking the way, and it's usually a forest, which is fine because there's no real way of the enemy getting to you. But there is the problem of I like that. I think that's been modded with new architectural designs. But after a while, of course, you need that wood for lumber, so you need those trees for wood, basically. And you more or less are making holes in your own walls. Well, at least we got the long swordsman now. And now we can monks convert enemy buildings, monasteries, traps, guys. Monks can convert enemy monks. Monks 50% faster. Now, I once again need structures, but now that's another thing I don't like. It should just select, when you double click like this, you should be able to select them all. But instead it's one at a time. Maybe there's a hotkey. 2, 3, 4, 5. What the? See what I mean? Poking holes in your own bloody plan. Town Patrol. I hear they're making a 4th game of this, and that would be great, but I am worried it's going to end up being something like an online experience. And this game always had, more or less has always had online multiplayer. I've even played a few matches, but it was never anything like it was today. Then again, gaming of the last few years has changed hugely. And will be still changing. So I'm wondering if it's the 4th game in this is going to be like that, or they're going to try to keep somewhat. Actually, I'll switch. Yeah, I'll do that instead. The arrows, because my special is this. Oh, nice. Right away, get to work. Some people don't have like horses based on like the historical counterparts. I think the Ethiopians did have horses, like cavalry, but maybe maybe they don't in this. I don't need that many monks. What I need to do is close that gap. That's a new thing, arson. Which is good because famously you can knock down buildings with foot troops in this. And I say famously because the guys from... Yeah, see what I mean? You die. The guys from South Park sure liked it with the Mongols. Get away from my shitty wall. But if you listen to them closely, they're actually, even the sound effects of their swords are all tributes to this. Clink, 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 clink. You're going to hear it in a bit. Because I'm going to eventually start making moves outside of the the fort. After, of course, I build the damn wall. And I also need to build a university for one simple reason. I want to get the ballistics. Also, murder holes are useful too. So you construct that if anyone attacks your tower or your castle defenses, they if they're right then and right up next to them, they can't actually fight back. Yeah, that's fine. I'm running low on stone. One more reason I gotta make a move. 300 wood and 170. Yeah, good stuff. In fact, let's get a few archers. If these guys don't have cavalry, this won't be very useful, but speaking of cavalry, I should think about building other military buildings beside of barracks. Yeah. And here. And then I'll build another castle. Castles, as you see, also add on to your population tab. I guess people live inside them, which is not untrue. They did live inside castles. What the hell? That's stupid. We're in a conquest match, and he's the only other player. We can't ally. Yeah, maybe he wants like a sort of like a truce. And of course, the siege workshops. Only really useful, I think, once you get damn, we got plenty of wood now anyway. But no, more stone. But only really useful once you discover gunpowder. So now, oh, see what I mean? They're getting very angry. Well, they can be angry all they want. Comita. I also like the monks as well because they can heal your troops, but this game, you know, you don't really preserve people. Heroes on the campaign map, maybe. There we go. Let's party. Traitor! See the way they're expanding their camps by just eating up resources. I'm gonna need a lot more people to... Hell, it probably would have been better if I converted her. Oh well. And let's be honest here, I'm gonna need to be on a defensive stance for this. So my plan is this. Build defenses. And then... Oh, I have to send someone... I'll send out some people to do that. Yeah, I'll build defenses and then I will build the resources as well. Now that I have these guys. Monks move 15% faster, which is useful. Of course, a lot of these things aren't for everyone. Like, not every person can learn everything. I think they're gimped in some way. Each particular faction, there's like either a building or research that they just can't research, period. Need that. Also need to build up those